And we're back. Welcome back to the Crazy Tarot Show. Um, Welcome back to the Chammy, the only channel on YouTube where you can get a complete haunted in a haunted house with a professional tarot card reading. I'm back with the Spirit Box and Cotton Fly. We're going to talk a little bit of the Spirit Box session we just had, which I'm going to turn into some long form content, hopefully for you guys shortly here. I could see from this energy, tarot's energy and thoughts and feelings about that reading, as well as Cotton Flies. What they were saying makes me want to go ahead and turn that into some kind of long form content in regards to spirits. If you guys have any questions about ghosts that you want me to ask and maybe do short tarot videos about, let me know. Doing free energy updates, yes, no, maybe so, sometimes why, as well as paid readings. And we're sitting here on the Spirit Box with the ghosts and sitting here on the phone with Cotton Fly.
Here's Johnny. I wanted to say that. I have to give a shout out to The Shining.
So fucking funny. Oh, maybe Danny will show up soon.
Jack Nicholson. There we go.
Hey, Dave Navarro, you can be Danny in our chat any day. God bless his soul. Anyways, let's go ahead and get the cards out and see if maybe we can get some answers from the cards about the last Spirit Box session.
Ooh, yay.
Let's do that. Awesome. And I think I'm going to do it with the Gothic Tarot instead of the Golden Girls. Spirit, what do we need to know right now about this last Spirit Box session?
Oh my gosh.
So Queen of Cups.
Jumped out.
Spirit must have been feeling very sensitive about this last Spirit Box session. So Spirit, what was making you feel so sensitive?
Spirit did say that they loved us too, or love, something about love.
Very interesting, really. So Spirit was feeling very sensitive about the magic in the room, the magician, feeling very sensitive about Spirit and this High Priestess, feeling very sensitive about maybe our spirits.
Stormy, could you be technically the magician, or?
Oh, that's interesting. Because I have said before that I feel in my tarot deck that if I was going to pick any, how I want to make tarot decks, right? And I make them all the time. And remember I've said before, if I was to make a rock and roll tarot deck, definitely Jack White would be the magician. Dave Navarro would be the hanged man. Sinead O'Connor would be the Hierophant, and I mean, just on and on. Madonna would be the devil.
Oh gosh, that's a good pick.
So I've been working on that, just for fun. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really know if it'll ever turn into a tarot deck, but
definitely a rock and roll deck for real music lovers.
Yeah, for real music lovers. I have been working on that. I don't know when it'll be out, but hopefully soon here, by the end of the month. I'm hoping to have it ready to go. And then we've got a lot of major arcanas here. That's very interesting. So yeah, the High Priestess, the beautiful King of Swords, which is all about, it's like that knight in shining armor energy.
Oh, interesting.
So maybe Spirit's letting us know that they're feeling sensitive about the magic in the air, the magic in the room, Spirit itself, the energy, the High Priestess energy. Maybe they feel like, my nickname used to be High Priestess of Little 5 Points. So
cool.
I don't know, maybe I'm quite possibly the last High Priestess of Little 5 Points here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
I have not lived in Little 5 Points for a long time, but I was never told that there was another one that came about. So I don't know. I mean, this could be an Atlanta ghost. If there is a ghost that was speaking to us tonight who was from this area, from Atlanta, Spirit, what can you say about that?
Maybe it's that Catherine and Michael, Romeo and Juliet.
So yeah, it's 6 of Swords. The Spirit is from here, from Atlanta. Catherine and Michael, are you there tonight? So Catherine was a rebel and Michael was a Yankee. And he came to town and they fell in love and everybody was like, hell no.
Aww.
I think they even hung him and she watched him being hung like from the hanging tree up the street that they cut down and built a gazebo over. Yeah, I know. So weird. Isn't that weird? Like we're definitely modern advanced creatures for sure. I mean, can you imagine the audacity of having a hanging tree in your neighborhood?
Wow, that's crazy.
Do you know that Atlanta used to actually have a historical monument where they hung Jewish people? They took it down and built a Waffle House, but this literally used to be a historical landmark.
House. That Waffle House must be so haunted with all of those hangings. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and Georgia has come a long way. I really must say Georgia has come a long way. I mean, when I was a kid, Mom was like, we ain't driving through Georgia because of the signs. You know, if you're brown, turn around. If you're black, turn back.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
So, Spirit, can you tell us maybe if you have a nationality or you have an ethnic background you want us to know? Or what do we need to know about you? Are you from here? Are you from America? So, no. The devil card.
Are they? Is it like a darker entity, a demon? If it's not a spirit, like a human spirit, maybe?
Well, it's just a basic no. It's just a basic no card. It doesn't have a meaning to it because it's just a question that we're asking this yes, no, maybe so. So it does not have a meaning to it other than no, it is not from this area.
Oh, okay.
It is not from this time or this area. So what do we need to know about you? The spirit that we were talking to tonight on the spirit box. So we've got a reverse 10 of Pentacles. It feels unlucky.
Oh, maybe because it's stuck there, or like because it passed.
Are you stuck here? So it says yes.
Is it answering on the box out loud? I thought it said like a soft yes.
It just said yep. Did you hear that?
Oh, that was loud.
It was fucking loud. Part of my friends you too.
See, they're reacting, or they're intellectual.
Do you want me to play you a song, Spirit?
For some reason, I'm getting a ringing on my left side of the ear, the left side.
So that's probably because there's a guardian spirit or guardian angel or something like that close to you. So when you hear that ringing in your ears, it is a sign of
Oh gosh.
Spirit, do you like Metallica? I guess so. Don't get me started on Metallica. God, I love all their riffs too. Their music is incredible. Did it just say, hey, the spirit box? Hey, hi,
It kind of sounded like that. Say it again.
I think I forgot to put spirit box on the...
Oh, by the way, your dad came in the middle of the reading.
He came in the middle of the... He probably thinks I'm crazy.
He was like, is everything okay? And I was like, yes, sir. He's in the middle of the spirit box.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It sounds like such a sleepover thing to happen, you know?
I appreciate it. Crazy. Oh, sorry, I forgot how to play guitar. Can't play guitar anymore. I hit my head. Can't remember.
No! You have to hit your head again so you can come back. That's what the movies say.
Maybe this is like a really dead time for tarot.
Oh.
We've been on about 12 minutes and nobody's been by.
Well, time flies when you're having fun. Nice. That sounds like is that like a Spanish song?
Yeah, it's my song called La Serena.
Aww. Like, what kind of, I guess, like, what is the ethnic demographic of your area? Were there,
Well, we used to have a lot of, actually, Roswell used to really be a very big melting pot. We used to have this, Atlanta used to be a huge melting pot. Now it's kind of like, if you're really wealthy, you can just live wherever you want. But the wealthier it gets, the more really conservative people move in, and they start pushing out the different minorities.
Oh, okay.
And it, like, our neighborhood used to be full of Latinos, and used to be full of lots of Mexicans and lots of people from who were a melting pot. Like, it was just cool. And now it's like,
interesting. Wait a second. So is that why maybe that spirit could read Diablo and he said Satan, or he could read in Spanish?
It's a
Spanish spirit or Spanish speaking spirit.
It's bilingual, yeah.
Wow,
one of
that's
them
so
is
interesting.
bilingual. I mean, I know the little girl under the stairs. I know the girl under the stairs. The little girl buried under the house, we thought maybe was French, because she not only answered Molly in French once, she answered Molly in English.
Oh.
And the thing is, the mill workers were French.
Oh, wow.
The people who built the mill were French. See, something that you guys have to understand about America, and the Statue of Liberty was a gift from France for a reason. And, the French really, really built this country. And the British too, don't get me wrong. I mean, the British really did build this country up from the ground, but you got to remember, people tend to forget this, that this country was built off criminals and built off many different, multiple ethnicities who had very many different religions, spiritual backgrounds, beliefs, and ideas. And we're all just a product of it. I mean, yeah, I'm first generation here, okay, but I'm only first generation on my dad's side. I'm second generation on my mom's side because she's first generation here. So it becomes it's like a whole new world for us. But there's so much history that's so rich in blood. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. So does that mean that, let's say, like, the demographic of your neighborhood was mostly the working class? So it would have, people who were doing these services and stuff like that, that were building things here.
Well, I would have to say that this particular town went from being, a place that had mill workers that they actually, they made cloth. They made things that mills made, they made for, I mean, I know some of the cloth was definitely made and cut for Confederate soldiers' armor. There are very many things that they probably made at that mill that many people needed around Atlanta and the surrounding areas for their farms. Would I say they were the working class? Well, they were just this city was founded on probably some of the
specialized services.
Well, they were founded by some of the wealthiest people in the country at that time. See, the thing about America is that it was a place at one time where you could, there'd be land at stake, and you could go and claim that to just be your property.
Oh, okay.
Just because you claimed it, it didn't matter who it belonged to, even if it belonged to the natives. So this land, it is Cherokee land. And the sad thing is that those Cherokee aren't here now, but the Trail of Tears starts right here in my neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
Or at least goes through it.
Wait, what did the spirit box just say? It said something.
It did say something. So is there anybody there that wants to talk to us through the spirit box?
It sounded off when you said the Trail of Tears.
Yeah, the Trail of Tears.
The Cherokee Indians
seem to trigger it.
Is there like music maybe that do you play something like that, or?
No, I've never really ever thought of.
Pocahontas from Disney.
You're so cheesy.
The Colors of the Wind. Just kidding.
playing a song for you, Spirit. So I guess it's time in the morning. It's just dead for tarot. So we'll just remember that. We'll just remember that 3 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the morning is a boring time to be on YouTube doing anything on a Sunday night. I'm not going to wait one more minute.
Spirit, if you're there, touch the red light or the green light. Or say something. Say something in the box. Is that the way it works? Storms at 4:20. You should take a puff, and I'll take a cheers or something.
Hey, Morning Star. By the way, I just love your name. Want me to play a song for you? You know, it's a very fun song to play. Believe it or not, Cottonfly.
What?
And Morning Star. We Three Kings.
Oh, how does that go?
That Christmas song. Remember the We Three Kings? I can hardly remember how to play it, but there are some pretty cool chords in that song. And so one day I just sat down and taught myself the Esteban version. Sparkles and Directs. Okay. We can hang with that around here. How's your weekend been? I guess it's not the weekend technically anymore. I guess now it's Monday. Ba, 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 can't trust that day. We're actually just sitting here talking to dead people. And I was actually playing them a song.
Spirit, touch the red light or the green and yellow light.
Or this little guy. Wasn't that creepy earlier when we were just sitting here and the REM pod died and then the Motley Crue light show bulb went off?
Yeah, everything was dying and then that thing started popping off.
That's a really good song too, Morning Star. La Bamba.
Well, do you think the mill workers was like that? Since they were, but you said they were French, right? I thought they were.
No, the French. No, honey. I don't think that Latins had come here yet until much. Well, maybe Latins had been here, but they weren't really established. I don't believe that they were really established. I still think that there were very many, many French, Irish, African American, Caribbean, for certain.
Oh, Hotel California is good.
But yeah, so that, and what was interesting is supposedly the people that owned the homes, during the Civil War, pre-Civil War, after, they all fled while they entrusted their homes and their properties with the caregivers that they had.
Oh, wow.
According to history, they weren't treating their caregivers as the way we, would read traditionally about slaves today. Many of the families that had to flee, who owned the homes and the properties, were able to keep their properties because their servants were so happy in the state that they were in, that supposedly they were able to run the homes and live in them and care for them without losing them to the Yankee rebels, the Yankee soldiers who were in rebel territory at the time. It's pretty interesting history. I'm not really sure when Atlanta became populated with other minorities other than African American or people from the islands. Your basic Irish, French, English. Because back in during those times, I mean, when America started becoming inhabitable, and then we went through certain types of different wars, like American Revolution, French Revolution, Civil War, whatever. So much changed for so many people. But this country was based off of, they sent their criminals here to punish them. They sent
indentured servants, I guess, to repay debts and things like that. Or
I mean, and you were supposedly lucky to make it here, to start a new life. I mean, it's not like they sent you here to start a new life anyways. They sent you here in hopes that it would kill you, so they could clean out their prisons and put more Catholics in it to try to absolve or murder.
Oh, wow.
I know, sickening, huh?
Yeah, I think there's something about like Australians, also something about an island, something about that I remember, like some crazy history as well, where there's like an island, or no, oh yeah, I think that's like how Australia got started or something.
Once again,
I don't know if you know anything about that.
We've got New Zealand and Australia, and then you've got all those far Pacific islands that are off of all that stuff. I mean, it's wild over there. There are some of the most dangerous tribes in the world over there. And you will no human will ever be safe to inhabit some of those tiny little pockets and islands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Creepy stuff.
Oh, no.
I mean, people are afraid of ghosts, but I'd be more afraid to confront a tribe of people who, would eat you.
I mean, basically, because we don't really know what their standards and norms are. So perhaps, like, maybe they see a competition coming in, and that's like the way that they handle it is, let's eat a bitch.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of tribes, I wonder if like there's I don't know. You know how they say like that Hawaii, like the land in Hawaii is very sacred. So
yes. My brother was born there.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah, my brother was born in Hawaii.
Nice. So I wonder if you have like maybe land that's considered sacred or spiritual, either there around your house or on your property.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we do. I mean,
oh, nice.
Wow. I'm pretty sure we do. I mean, there's some Indian burial mounds in the neighborhood, but once again, nobody cared, so they just let people build over the mounds and over the graves. And I mean, I there's a place down the street where I did karaoke for the first time ever in my life, because I don't do karaoke unless it's Danzig. So I went there to do some Danzig karaoke because I was double dog dared to. And I was just talking to the owner, and he was like, yeah, this place is pretty haunted. It's built on an Indian burial mound. Like, I am from the west coast of Florida. Those things are sacred. Oh, that's really cool, Morningstar. 3 universal divine languages. Amen, right? The rainbow is diverse. For sure. The rainbow is diverse. Amen to that. It's so interesting about the whole static thing too that you say about the static screen of TV, because on the spirit box, if I turn it up, that's all the white noise. But I cut it out so we can try to hear the actual voices coming through to decipher them. I mean, I love the Estes method, don't get me wrong, but it takes a lot out of me and the reader. Whereas this whole method here is nice too, because you can just sit and give the spirits a voice.
So what is occult history?
Yeah, so what is occult history to you, Morningstar? I think it's just us now.
So would occult history sort of be like Salem and, you know, like the witches in Salem and things like that?
I think it's specific according to maybe what Morningstar might consider occult history, because some people think that pop culture should be occult history too. I'll be right back.
Oh, like
did I really just hit Pinhead in the head with the guitar? Oops. So one thing that I find really creepy when we talk on the phone is that I hear this, and it's almost exactly like when I put the spirit box on, I hear this tapping.
That's crazy.
Yeah, until I start putting it in rev mode, which will make it either go forward or backwards, really super fast or really super slow.
And that's on my side, or just you don't?
It's
know
on your side. It doesn't matter if I have like, it's on. It's I don't. It's not. There's nothing going in the room or tapping or anything. I don't have any like. Oh my god! There's a fairy in my face. Hello, hi. There's no like clocks or wind up clocks or grandfather clocks in the house, so there'd be really nothing ticking. There's no. It's not raining outside.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's somewhere on the line.
I mean, I'm texting right now. Tell me if you hear it.
No, this is just to be random when we're talking. So what you determine as a find in occult history would nothing that every religion written from looking at the lights of the sky. Hey Alex, it's good to see you. How are you, dear? We're just sitting here with the spirit box. We're hanging out with Morningstar. We're talking some pretty deep stuff. I'm teaching myself Toxic. It's really only like 3 chords, so it's super easy to play Toxic by Britney Spears. Which is an incredibly, by the way, an incredibly well-written song, you guys.
Please play that song. That's going to be hot. Hey, Alex.
It's good to see you, Alex. Thanks for coming by. Have you been having any problems with the chat? Anybody having any problems with the chat? So I'm gonna turn into an alpha yaya.
It is your right, Simba. It is time.
Oh, so funny. Any updates, Alex? I'm fine. I just to be on the fucking part of my French YouTube. It just keeps getting more and more interesting. But I must say, I'm very happy with and pleased with the way things are working out. With my manifestations, which is just basic, really basic stuff, you know, keeping food on the table and the roof over the head. And peace, harmonious household.
I love that.
Me too. Morningstar. A recent find would be the Eye of Horus and Ankh are also palmistry markings. So the gentleman that I studied the art of jazz and funk with had the most amazing Eye of Horus tattoo. And I carried that symbol like with me for a long time. Like I would draw it on my face, I would draw it on my books, I would draw it on the bathroom wall.
Nice.
I really like that symbol a lot. And then we used it for Orgone Environment, which is my Orgone partner in crime that I study the science of orgonite with and create and make orgonite with.
You know,
oh God, it's tapping right now. It's tapping. It's going tap, 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 tap on your phone. On the phone.
What?
Did you not hear it again? Maybe one day it will echo through the live and you'll hear it, but I don't know because you've got the live on mute, so it won't echo.
That's so weird. I mean, I didn't move it at all, but
you're going to
it's next to the Bible, my Bible. Hello? Sorry?
Hello. Oh no, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know if my.
It's okay. It's okay.
My phone cut off. I was like, what? Yeah, you know what's kind of weird actually? I think in 5th grade I did this Egyptian project and I got very I guess like I don't know, I really love that symbol and I used to draw it a lot too. Like, do you know what the symbol represents or what it is or what's special about it?
What, the Eye of Horus?
Mm-hmm.
It's so very interesting that you asked that question. If I was to personally, symbolically tell you what I think and feel the true Eye of Horus is about, is I really feel like it is a key identity of, or just another identity, honestly, of the Greek evil eye. I know that just sounds absolutely bonkers, but I really feel like at the end of the day that both have very much something that is very much a part of each other, despite the circumstances being very different in their mythology. I feel like you might have a past life there.
Lucifer actually develops below the first finger as a ring of Solomon or soul, depending on hand sign. What does that mean? The Eye of Horus is actually developed as a ring of Solomon.
Have you heard that thing about how, like, supposedly Cleopatra existed closer to the iPhone than the creation of the pyramids?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that kind of puts things in perspective a bit more about the, I guess I don't know, the legendary, the mass of what that civilization is.
Yeah, I'm pretty fascinated with Greek mythology.
My favorite is Medusa, but also I think Venus.
Well, Venus was born off the sea foam of the island of Cyprus. And then her baths are there in Cyprus. And there's a myth where like if you drink from the baths of Aphrodite, and you like say are barren, like you can't have children, but you drink from it, you will be able to have children.
Oh wow.
People have really um, people have really forgotten, you know, the or lost a sense, I feel sometimes, of the Greek culture and how it has shaped our world, our perception of things, and our lives today.
I agree, Alex. I think they definitely should make a movie about Medusa and maybe have like Angelina Jolie play the lead there. Right? Definitely.
It's interesting. Like I feel like yes, they should make a movie about Medusa for sure. And not one like the ones they've made before where they make her out to be such a monster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that like she's a monster, but at the end of the day, and you know what I find interesting is I don't see a lot of Greek actresses or actors in the business at all. I don't know why. I mean, I know Telly Savalas was Greek. I mean, who was the last Greek musician that was popular, artist or actress, or that you knew of? I mean,
I know that the My Big Fat Greek Wedding Part 3,
and that's the only
4
one.
is
Come
coming
on.
out.
I mean, who else? I mean, that person's been out for a decade. That director and that writer and that actress.
True.
I mean, come on now.
Joey Fatone.
I can't relate. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, while my dad, loves to use Windex for mosquito bites,
Does he really?
and it really does work for bruises and
Oh
mosquito.
my God.
It's so weird. I mean, and you'll find him out there polishing his Cadillac. Teaching you the root of what each English word means really in Greek. It's great to be ancient Greek in a modern advanced society and culture.
Oh, that's interesting. Morning Star about the palmistry. So there's similarities in hands. Same. I want to go too. So, what part of Greece are you from? And have you been to Greece?
So it's not Greece. It's actually the Greek island of Cyprus. It's just a very tiny speckle. It's north of Africa, south of Turkey, and it's just a little bit west of Pakistan and the Silk Road, where the Silk Road begins and ends.
Cool. And you've been there?
Of course, 1,000 times.
Oh, that's awesome.
We do a lot of Facebooking, a lot of FaceTiming, and a lot of family video chat. So I get to see a lot of it a lot of the time. But I would really love to take my dad to see his sister, who he has not seen in 45 years.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, his brother's depressed. They're all pushing 80 and 90, and they're healthy as horses, but they're bored. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being like that age, right? And you don't know how to use a cell phone.
Give me some of that Greek water. I'm over here like.
That's why I've like taught my dad like here's the phone and this is how you use it, and if you get bored, babysit yourself for a minute.
Morningstar, that's really cool about the psychic markings. How they all have similar markings.
Yeah, I really like making Greek and Mediterranean food, dolmades and spanakopita And what's the other one that I really like? Everybody likes baklava. I mean, I guess it's an okay dessert, but there's some other desserts too that are much better.
Like, what are those like the I call them Greek balls, but I think they're dolmina, something like that. I don't know. It's like Greek donuts with honey,
Greek balls.
cinnamon. We call
It's
it
like Greek balls. I have no idea. I've never heard of Greek balls.
Storms, it's almost 4:20, so we can all take a cheers or.
Well, I better warm up my vape because it's brand new.
We got 1 minute. We got 1 minute, guys. Let's grab something.
Just grab something.
Cheers it up.
Inhale the air.
It's 4:20.
You'll release endorphins.
There we go. Cheers, guys. 4:20.
Greek salad, tzatziki.
Greek sativa.
Excuse me. Doesn't want to work. Babe, it's just so lame this month. Oh my God, there's the tapping on your phone again, Conflight. I feel like I'm losing my mind sometimes when I hear it. There it is. Tap, 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 tap. It's so weird.
That guy. So I'm kidding.
So the tap didn't happen at 47:12 into this live. So maybe what I'll do is I'll go back tomorrow. You want to try pasticcio? Oh, it's so good. I like it a lot. And musica.
Oh.
There's musica, pasticcio, panacopita.
Your dad's gonna wake up. He's gonna be like, "Where?"
God, I'm getting hungry.
I know.
Let's go back.
Alex, why are you making us hungry?
And the thing is, I can cook all of that stuff. Like, how ridiculous is that? Like, I could cook all this amazing stuff, and there's no one to cook for, and there's no money to buy any of it.
Didn't you have like Greek salad today?
Yes, we did have a lovely Greek salad.
Sounds good.
No,
Alex, he got us. He made us hungry. His plan worked.
I'm gonna get a drinky treat. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Let me try to figure out what the Greek pause thing is so I can. Nice, Morningstar. Drink up, cheers.
My dog is looking at me like, girl, you crazy. Let's go to human dog bed and cuddle.
Aw.
Hey, Dollface. Alex, any updates? I forgot to ask you that. Is it Ruby? Yes, it's Ruby. I'm gonna go get her right now. I can't stand it. I gotta get her in my arms now. Baby. Spirit's like, yay, it's Ruby. Ruby's such a fine girl. We're gonna cuddle wuddle duddle right here on YouTube. How are you? Okay, did you just wake up? She's like, yeah, feed me. Just wake up. I need to give her a nice brush. Over the last month, her coat has really grown out a lot. I gave her a nice trim a couple weeks ago, but it's all grown out. Ruby. Hi. I just love you so much. Let everybody see your pretty face. Yeah.
Aw.
She's so spoiled.
He's like, I'm pretty. She knows.
She got so sick, and then I was $40 late in my rent, but I didn't care because I had to save her life. And so many awesome followers on Instagram helped me to help pay for her surgery.
Aw.
So it was right during that time when COVID just wasn't over yet, and there was no work, but I always try to save back some money for the dogs.
Those vet bills are crazy.
I know,
They're
vet
so
bills
high.
are absolutely nuts. And then we just recently lost our veterinarian, so I'm in the good market for another veterinarian here.
Yeah. She's trying to stay awake. That's the
she
key.
is. She's trying to stay awake, and
she's trying her hardest.
she's like, "Mommy, just."
She knows. She was happy. She's like, I was trying.
Okay, I'm gonna go put her back down on the human dog bed. I'll be back. There you go, rolling Pauline. She's only like 6.5 inches tall. And she's a vicious one. She's so sweet. But if she was a human being, that bitch would be a quarterback on a football team. So you hear the spirit box just say, yep.
Oh, God.
She's a wolf sable chihuahua. So she is also she's definitely an applehead wolf sable chihuahua.
Oh my gosh. Spirit box kept saying apple.
Oh yeah, you're right. And I have a dead cat named Apple. So
oh my gosh.
So maybe it sees Apple, or maybe it's my mom and she's saying apples with her, or.
Oh my gosh. No way. I think it said apple like three times or something like that.
Wow.
So your cat is did you bring up your cat before the spirit box or after the spirit box?
Well, I think it had said Apple during the first session tonight at some point.
Okay, so it was after the spirit box.
Did it say Apple during the Estes method?
Well, when I was doing the spirit box reading, it said it like 3 times, apple, and I was like, why is it saying apple so many times?
So that's interesting, Morningstar, because I have a white cat with one blue eye, one green eye. Now she is just a little spirit floating around with butterfly wings, but I definitely am very much looking forward to getting another cat. But I want to get. I know this sounds insane, but I would love to get. Let me find a picture of it. I don't even know what kind of cat it is. Apple was a tabby tuxedo. You know those black cats that have like they look like they're wearing a tuxedo. Like that's what Apple looked like, and he had the tabby fur though instead of the black fur. And then Muffin was just she. I had three white cats at one time.
Oh, really?
And I didn't even like it was so weird. Like I didn't even expect my cat to have kittens at the time. Like I couldn't even tell she was pregnant. Like I didn't even realize she had gotten out of the house and gotten herself pregnant by the local by the local stray cat who happened to be
the tomcat.
Yes, and his name was Frosty. But I would love to get a cat like that. There's a link. I just pulled that off of Google. I wonder if it'll show you guys what it looks like.
Oh, wow.
I would really like to get one of those. I want one of those.
Okay, cool.
But I'm not pushing for a cat because I have 3 wonderful dogs and I'm a real dog person. I'm not so much a cat person. But
I feel like the cat would be a good representation. The cats and be like a buddy, an ally to the.
Well, yeah, I mean that's how Apple and Muffin were with the dogs. So I had the 3 dogs and Apple and Muffin at the same time, and they were all good buddies. And it was so funny because I swear Apple and Ruby had some kind of special romance because he would just be like licking her head, and she'd be like, and he'd lick her, and she'd be like, it's so funny and weird.
Oh my god!
And he'd be purring and she'd be growling. It's really weird.
They had a comedy
They
show.
Did. They had like it was like opposites attract. Like that Paula Abdul song.
I had a female black cat named Jade. Oh, that's a good name for a black cat. We moved to the free line and an orange to the tree line, and an orange female cat came with the property. Oh, that's cool. And ran off my cat. No way. Oh, that sucks. We bought the hybrids after. What? Oh, you have 3 hybrids names. Oh, that's cool. Lightning, Thunder, and Storm. Who has one big one? Interesting. Oh, you got a wolf hybrid. Oh, wow.
Are you finding this interesting, Spirit?
Oh, man.
Can you make the blue light shine? Can you make the blue light shine, Spirit? Maybe just the battery's dying now. Is this going to be like the 4th battery it's eaten tonight?
Didn't you put new batteries in everything tonight?
Yes.
That's wild. How's it already dead? Oh, cool, Alex. You're going to Texas?
Spirit. Say something in the spirit box if you have something to say to us. Do you know anything about the chanting in the woods? What can you tell us about the chanting in the woods? Nothing more terrifying than the chanting in the woods to me. Like,
I think I asked it.
Like I want to cry when I think about the chanting in the woods and what it sounds like is terrifying to me. And the cops'
It,
reactions. I mean, like, I'm like, hey, it sounds like someone's getting, slaughtered in the backyard. Could you come check it out? And they're like, oh, well, let us know when it's over.
Morningstar said it's not him. He's inside. For her.
Spirit, you seem to be pretty trigger happy about the chanting in the woods.
Oh, what did it say? That's weird.
I know, especially when it like kind of sounds like the chanting in the woods coming through the spirit box.
Yeah. It sounds like a little bit Native American-ish or something, or like the chanting. Oh gosh.
Gosh, the neighbors probably hate me. I don't care. Spirit, what are you trying to tell us through the REM pod? Maybe it's just the electronics affecting it.
Do you want to do, I guess, like, maybe we can do it another time, but maybe we can do, like, a one that's more geared towards heavier questions for the chanting in the woods?
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be kind of cool.
Maybe think about some, but don't tell me what they are.
Okay.
That way, when it's time to do an Estes method about the chanting in the woods, my perception of things will be clueless still. Okay?
Okay.
Because that's the important part about the Estes method is that the channeler is clueless to the questions. Like, yeah, you know the topic. Like, you know where you are. We know we're in the graveyard. We know it's going to be spooky a little bit. Because we don't know what's going to happen.
Like basically running through it as if it were like a real scientific, measure of actual conversation.
Look, it's
or
doing it. It's going crazy.
It likes it. It likes what we're saying. Maybe it's like, yes.
Wow.
It's a science.
Or maybe somebody will find this on YouTube and know what's going on.
Do you think it could have been coyotes or something like that? Storms, the chanting, or?
No, not at all. Do you want to hear it again?
I mean, yes, I would like to hear it.
Let me get it.
It didn't sound like that, but Morningstar's.
I'm gonna get it. I'm pulling it up right now.
So the most haunted places are in the city. Oh, I can see that because there's so many people there. Hospitals is a big one. Yeah, wow. Any place involved with hospice with women. Definitely, I can see that.
Okay, now my flesh is starting to crawl just a little bit.
Why?
Just because, like, the way that end of that song sounded that it just played.
What did it sound like?
It just was so creepy.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know why it just struck a nerve.
Oh, gosh. Like, what did you feel?
I felt Mozart. I felt
I
him
meant,
frisk
like,
me.
like, did you feel like it's like your hair stand up, or like
Yeah,
what is
for
the
sure.
sensation? Okay,
Just
okay.
like goosebumps, and it's really difficult to give me goosebumps. So
Oh wow.
that's why I said I felt my heart.
The X-Files.
Oh God. You know, did you guys have any of you ever gotten like really into that Twin Peaks show ever? I got really into that over like the Halloween time last year, and it's it's so easily interesting how you can get lost in in you know, both X-Files and Twin Peaks, and then see how they meet in the middle and then intertwine. And then it's even scarier to watch Sex and the City and actually see how some of those episodes intertwine into some of the creepier episodes in Twin Peaks, where the main character kind of disappears for a little while and is somebody else. Because the main character from Twin Peaks played Charlotte's first husband on Sex and the City. And I always felt like, this is so weird. This is just weird.
Oh, like somebody created a storyline that's I guess that
and then if you
all of that.
And then if you actually watch the new Twin Peaks, and then you start thinking about how he wasn't himself for a really long time, he was somebody else. Like, where did his spirit go? Was he abducted by aliens? I don't know. It was just really weird. Okay, so the chanting in the woods. Let me see if I can get this. So just real quick, the loud white noise you might hear in this recording of this chanting in the woods is the waterfall in the backyard. I don't really know if you'll be able to hear the chanting, but I'll play it. Let me know if you hear it. Did you even hear any of that?
Yeah, that kind of sounded like. I mean, I definitely heard it. Did anybody else hear? It sounded kind of like a voodoo chant or something.
Yes,
that's what it doesn't even sound like a Native American thing. It sounds
it absolutely does feel like voodoo.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Now I definitely know the difference between voodoo, hoodoo, black magic, witchcraft, white, gray, whatever, pink, red, blue.
It sounds like a scary movie.
It's like, this is like where I fucking live, you guys. God, somebody help me. Please.
It sounded like a scary movie. Yes, basically, is what we're saying.
And I called the police, and I'm like, it sounds like someone's being slaughtered in the backyard. Could you please come check it out? Well, let us know when it's done.
Oh my God.
I was so fucking upset.
Yeah.
It sounded like they were tearing a person apart.
Oh my gosh.
And it didn't just go on that was the first night that you guys heard. And
what does that even sound like?
And then so Cinco de Mayo was on a Friday that day. So this was like this time of the morning that we're talking and hanging out right now on YouTube, 4 or 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the only reason I know that is because I had to wake up at that time in the morning to do, go to get ready to go to work because the shop opened at 6 a.m. So my roommate comes over and he's like, "Oh God, you gotta hear this crazy shit going outside. I don't know what it is. It's terrifying." I'm like, "Thank God he smoked."
Thinking it was
Thought it was
playing
just a
Pitbull
single.
and reggaeton.
Yeah, I just thought maybe it was a Cinco de Mayo party, whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna record it anyways. But it was just to think that it was at the butt crack of dawn.
Yeah.
But then the next night it came back, like that night, Friday night, Saturday morning, and then that second part you hear where it's just going absolutely batshit crazy was like the third night. So I put up with the shit for 3 nights. The third night was the craziest. I finally was like calling the police, like, "Hey, what the fuck is going on in this crazy city of aliens and vampires and werewolves and skinwalkers and freaking ghosts?"
I will tell you this, like I can definitely see Latinos partying at nighttime till the crack of dawn, and then coming back the next night. That sounds perfectly in line with what I know true of my people. Well, but I will say the sound that was coming from that was definitely not. You know, it was definitely not getting the party started. There was no,
this was definitely surreal. And at the end of the day, what's really scary to me about the chanting in the woods is that we heard it again in the most recent past month. No special holiday. I think it was a Friday night, maybe 2 weeks ago. And I tried to get it, but the katydids were just so loud that it's like it mixed in with the vibe of whatever they are or whatever it is. It could be an echo. It could just be a group of people who like to get together and go up and down the creek, and chant. Without
lights or with... Did it have lights at least? Or
I have no fucking idea. I'm not going outside to find out.
They're just in the dark chanting by the river.
Man, I mean, I have some spooky stuff to tell you guys, but this is really the spookiest because, like, I remember when I lived on the other side of town, and I lived in a little tiny town called Woodstock. And there's a mountain there called Sweat Mountain, and we could see Sweat Mountain from the garden. And I sat there and wrote a lot of the book I'm working on right now, Look Away, Sweet Dixie, and the trilogy for it, the Southern Gothic trilogy.
Oh, cool.
And I remember just like I remember making that trailer for this YouTube channel and how like my flesh crawled just thinking about the stories. One of them is the Catherine and the Michael story. And then, I don't know. And now I'm sitting here in this house and I used to think, man, I don't ever want to live in that spooky house. And here I am.
Whoa.
Living in it now. So see how your thoughts create?
Oh my gosh, so you manifested through negativity.
I manifested through my own negativity. Kind of a miracle because my mom was dying and they were kicking us out of our apartment because of it.
Oh, okay.
Like, in what fucking reality, pardon my French, in America, can you get kicked out of your lease because you're terminally ill? So I was like, as much as I manifested this out of fear,
that's traumatic.
That I think about it now, at the same time, it's like been kind of like a safe haven because, but to see what they talk about when you talk about law of attraction, law of assumption, people don't even know that they're capable of. Some people don't even know what that is. They don't realize that they're not, they don't need all these tools. They are the magic spell. And to see that all these years that went by, that was like, oh, I hope I never have to live there. That's such a creepy place. And I literally manifested myself through fear into it.
Wow.
It's been a weird experience. But
Morning Star. We have a neighborhood peacock now that is 1,000 times louder than a rooster and vain about it.
That's awesome.
No. Sits on the roof and scares the crap out of everyone as soon as someone drove down the road. Three hybrid, three hybrids later, the peacock left.
My mom had several
Most.
peacocks growing up. I remember her saying how they would just scream at the top of their lungs.
What the heck? They scream. It's not even like they're like, you know.
So what do they look like? What color
Singing,
peacocks are they?
Screaming. Most don't understand the spooky damn muggles. Oh. Yeah, peacocks are mean. I think I was like one tried to attack me once. I was a little kid, trying to feed it bread and it chased me. Mean peacock.
So they were just a regular, like, traditional pair of peacocks.
Oh, so by the way, it's called the Lucomides. Lucomides.
Comidas?
Let me spell it out. Lucomides.
What an interesting night.
They're the Greek donuts, the Greek balls.
Lucomades?
Lucomades. I mean, where do you live, Morningstar, that's a normal pet to have? Peacocks. Like, that's screaming peacocks.
That'd be an awesome band name. Hey, what's your band name, mate? Screaming Peacocks.
Oh, God. Yep. Screaming peacock. And, meanwhile, they stay here and there around. Oh, so they're just like couch surfing the area.
Close to Canada, actually.
Oh, cool.
Sometimes I like to play this little game with Ruby, and I like to ask her where she's from, and I'll give her multiple choice, and it doesn't matter what I give her as multiple choice, she always chooses Russia.
Oh my God.
Is that not weird?
That is so weird.
Always will choose Russia.
Yay.
And I know that she was, you know, I just have this gut feeling that she was purchased through a European trader. She's had a rough life. God, I love that dog.
Oh my gosh. But that's really cool that she understands that that's like a location or a nationality to choose, and that's like what. Well, or maybe she likes when you say Russia. Maybe it sounds like rough, you know. So it's like, oh yeah, that's what I say.
Man,
I understand that.
If she was a human on a sports team, she'd be a quarterback.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, and she will protect like baby Gypsy with her life. Not so much puppy Rooney, but.
And what's her sign?
Loving Libra.
Oh my goodness.
September 30th. She's my little soulmate.
Oh.
And then Rooney is August 28th. He's a Leo Virgo cusp.
Nice.
And then baby Gypsy's just that. She's the baby of the zodiac. She's an Aries, March 25th.
Oh, okay. She brings the energy,
God, she's such a lion.
The troublemaker.
Yeah, she's a bear. She's a total, and she's stubborn. Like, you know that a Chihuahua's belly is like the size of a ping pong ball. It's no bigger than the size of a ping pong ball. And dogs and cats will naturally overeat because of billions of years has been bred into them of having to eat their body weight every day so they can survive. So if you like leave cat food out or dog food out for dogs in a bowl, they'll eat and eat and eat and never stop.
Oh wow.
They can't process stopping eating. So I mean they can, but they'll make themselves sick continuing to eat even though they're full. They can't help it. So I have to be really careful because sometimes I want to give them extra steaky treats, or I want to give them extra cookie treats because they're cute. It's got to be careful because ping pong sized ball tummy. But so Ruby and Rooney definitely have a specific diet because they're seniors now. But baby Gypsy, like it's like
that's good.
Her appetite is insatiable. Like she can't. She has the mental illness problem, which I'm now trying to correct by going against my own morals and getting beef that's on sale and making her treats. And I tell you what, she's been a lot more respectful.
Oh.
A lot more respectful this weekend, for sure. Because she might get a steaky treat and she's forgotten about having to be a bitch to everyone else because of the cookie treat bag.
Yeah.
I'll put the cookie treat bag. I'll try to hide it from her on top of Dad's toolbox. Mm-hmm. She will camp the toolbox. Anyone or anything walks by it, she starts acting like she starts having a temper tantrum, and I can't have that. Like, she's finally getting potty trained and housebroken and asking to go out finally like a adult dog who has a brain the size of a toddler and acts like a toddler. I mean, that's the thing about cows though, and pigs and dogs, is that they don't really mature past the age of a toddler anyways.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
So to see how intelligent Ruby is and how intuitive she is, I mean, she damn well could be a human. If she had opposable thumbs, that bitch would rule this city. I'm serious.
Oh my god.
Double, triple jealous. Look, double, triple jealous bitch. Okay, manifest what she wants when she wants.
Dang.
I mean, she's a boss.
She's about to take over your show. I think there was one time I think you were like, how did I think something was set up or something like a live in the past or in the future, and you didn't know how to take it off, and you're like, who the hell set this up? And I was so like, joking, maybe your dogs did.
Listen, you guys, how in the hell do you make a live video on YouTube for December 31st, 1969? Like, how does this happen?
She even picked 69.
You can't even make a live for 1969. There's no way to do it. God, I'm getting chills thinking about it. Like, how does that even happen? How does that even happen? And I remember thinking, how is this gonna let me go live? And it's been sitting here since December 31st, 1969, and I haven't gone live. This is the weirdest experience I've ever had on a YouTube glitch.
Did you ever figure out why that happened?
No. Let me go see. I'm going to go try again right now to make one. YouTube.com. I even have screenshots. So I might have even taken a screen recording of it at one time. Of course it won't let me make a live because I'm on a live right now, but I have tried before to make a live 1969, December 31st. I got a pool and an orange cat with property. Yeah, hybrids. Don't eat any hybrid foods. But yeah, I almost forgot about that December 31st, 1969 live stream that was waiting for me to go live. and I couldn't fucking delete it.
I mean, is it still there?
Fuck, it probably is.
Oh my god. What the heck?
It probably is somewhere.
Oh Lord.
Because I couldn't delete it, so the only way I could get rid of it was to private it, I think.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. I don't know. But we've been here for another hour and 25 minutes. Not sure what's next, but looks like the REM pod battery has died again. How many times has this been tonight? 4? Is this number 4 or 3?
I mean, it's been like everything has died tonight. You've changed everything, and now it's dying again. It's crazy.
Yep, it's toast. So I guess it likes to play a song before it dies, like a death march or something.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of what it sounded like and felt like when I got all creeped out about the song it was playing. Okay, I'm searching for another battery because I'm crazy.
That's cool, Morningstar. You have a pool and an orange hat with the property. Everyone else runs a farm or ranch. Oh, that's nice. It's cool to be like away from neighbors like that. Everyone asks how the neighborhood strays are doing. Oh, that's cool that you have a sense of community like that. I'm low key envious. My hybrids feel community pets. Oh no, keep them inside. Don't let them out.
These are probably not good batteries either, but we'll just have to see. Okay, that feels pretty live. Oh, that felt really live. Let's try this battery instead. God help me. Okay. Let's see if this will fit in here. Sometimes these like little Amazon 9-volt batteries don't fit very well in the REM pod.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can, I guess, use paper to stuff it inside, sort of push it up against it so it stays in more.
Never seen a spirit while the microwave is running. I don't know. I don't use microwaves, so I've never looked for a spirit.
Oh my gosh, you've seen a spirit before, Morningstar? Sounds like it's like a normal thing for you. That's interesting. Maybe the radio waves or the waves from the microwave probably do something to the spirit frequency, I guess, to show up. So do they need like I mean, they take from the batteries for a reason, right?
I would guess. So they can be stronger or just basically use the energy to show that they're there and still exist or exist at all. I don't know, it's suddenly getting like really cold and dry in here. Like so cold and dry that my lips just got chapped and I had to put chapstick on.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like I made sure before I did the lives tonight though to burn sage and Shandon, which is my favorite incense.
Nice. What does that smell like? The Shandon?
I just can't describe it, but it has few equals. So some people will really dig it, and then some people will be like, "That's just too strong."
Mm-hmm.
Even though I dig it, like there's something about it that also, excuse me, has to do with the doll that I have from Bali. Like, I think I've told you before that uh, she went through quite a bit to make it here to the States. And I was describing her to this guy I worked with who happened to be from over there, and he said that she sounded like some Hindu goddess named Kalili, um, the goddess of revenge. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. We'll just go ahead and name her that.
Wait, was this a doll you're talking about or a person?
Yeah, it's a doll I have.
Oh, okay, okay.
Maybe I can take a picture of her while we're on the phone and then show you on the screen. Here's, hold on. Here's the doll. Ah. Here's my beautiful doll from Bali. Isn't she a cutie pie?
Let me see this one. Oh my goodness gracious. I can't. I'm going to put my screen down. No. That's kind of scary. It looks a little bit like the cheekbones of, or like the cheekbones from that, what is it, it has like a similar face shape to, what is her name, the doll movie?
I don't know, but she always kind of reminded me of Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, but I love her so much.
Let's see if I can get through.
And her face changes.
No way.
Yes, way.
In what ways?
And you want to know what's really scary about this doll?
What?
Molly and I put an SLS camera on her when Molly was here, and it actually picked up the spirit in her wood. It made her into a stick figure. Yeah.
No way.
Yes, way. I just don't talk about it.
It has like the facial features of Annabelle.
Really? I don't know what her. I mean, I know what Annabelle is, but I don't know what like her facial features are. I've never really looked at that. But this is Magalele. This is my little wicked she. And the story is that a tribe from Bali, Indonesia, carved her, and they sold her at the market. She's supposed to be a representation of the mother goddess.
So was she like many dolls, or was it just this one doll?
It was just this one doll.
Oh wow! So they did it with a lot of care.
But he said to me that he had to quickly flee the island or wherever it was that he was, because this art dealer that I worked for, would get together with other art dealers and like go out there and try to salvage up the artwork out there and buy it from the tribal people and then bring it back here and sell it for 10 times more than it's worth.
Okay.
So she ended up on a plane back here. But I kind of felt like the story he told me about her was kind of weird. Like he said his charter plane was so full he had no room for her, but he had spent so much money on her he couldn't leave her there in the dirt. So he cut her head off and stuffed her into the plane and then brought her here to the States. And he said ever since he brought her back, he even tried to glue the head back on and make it right. But ever since he did that to her, or just ever since he got her in his presence, his whole life went to shit.
I mean, it kind of sounds more like he was trying to...
Sounds like she's, I guess, stolen to me.
It sounds like what?
It sounded like she was stolen to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I guess, well, okay, like, I was thinking maybe he got scared of it, and then he wanted to, like, I guess, like, do that so that he can, I don't know, maybe...
Oh my God, I didn't think about that either. Maybe he was scared of it.
So he was trying to, like...
People should be scared of it.
Oh, so maybe somebody told him to do that, and he did that, and then instead of it being normal, it got worse for him, and then he tried to sell it to somebody else.
Yeah,
maybe?
I mean, his wife divorced him.
Oh my gosh.
He lost his art deal businesses. He lost his homes. It just got really, really bad for him. Now, I know that he says that this piece of art is from Bali, Indonesia, but being an art collector of this stuff for decades, since I was a kid, knowing the history, knowing the background of the lore there and the folkloric atmosphere, these tribes that live in these woods out there, like, this is their livelihood. Okay, and even though they're vicious monsters that would probably eat us, I mean, they really want to keep the authenticity of their tribes intact through beautiful artwork like this. But here's the thing about this doll. This artwork doesn't really match up with the kind of artwork that comes from Bali. Like, when you go out there, yeah, there's crazy masks and there's duplicates of masks and there's many different kinds of unique items that are all made out of the same kind of tiki wood or whatever they call it. But there's something about this that, I've done some research and trying to figure out where she might really be from. And I happen to think that she was hand carved by quite possibly a tribe, maybe one of the most violent tribes out there in the far Pacific East. I can't remember the name right now, but they're pretty vicious. And they look a lot like her. They wear their hair the way hers is. The way that her ears are.
I mean, so do you think it could pop? Because you know what, this is the thing. As I'm looking at Annabelle, it's called Annabelle, the doll. I'm looking at Annabelle's facial features and also another puppet one. They have similar facial features that sort of mimic, like more witch-like faces with the angular, the extended chin, the you know what I mean, like the facial features more of to scare. Yeah. I'm wondering, could they have made this sort of I guess trying to create like a witch doll?
I don't know, because at the end of the day, it was supposed to like represent the mother goddess. Like, it was supposed to represent a mother. Like, I mean, she's a doll and she has her full anatomy. Okay. Like, she has her boobs and her backside and her legs and her arms and her hands, like all dolls do. But this was supposed to be like a representation of their idea of the mother goddess.
Okay.
Now, when she came into my possession, he was to the point where it's like, I had worked there for about a year at the art gallery, and nobody wanted to buy her. And he was so desperate to get rid of her because it was getting worse and worse and worse for him. And I was like, well, I love her. I'll take her. And I just took her home for Christmas because he couldn't stand it anymore to try to think about how much money he put into her and then how much money he could not get out of her. And I think
Wow.
at the end of the day, like, why would he cut her head off? Because
It doesn't sound right to be like, I brought her, I cut it for space. Like, just put it on your lap.
well, yeah, it didn't make any sense as to why he couldn't get her on a charter plane and had to cut her head off. But he said that, and ever since I have, had her in my presence,
Mm-hmm.
I will have to say that my life did get better. My life just got better after that. Um, we didn't live in a haunted dump in Boston anymore where like we could barely make money and that we couldn't even eat or have a car or have a refrigerator or anything normal. It was very weird. We didn't even have a TV. Um, I think my neighbor found I don't know if I've told you about my best friend Melanie who passed away, but her dad found a bicycle in the trash for my dad and fixed it up so my dad would have a bike to go back and forth to work. I mean,
Oh,
it
wow.
was rough. So when I got the
Yeah.
doll, like let me think, that was December when I got the doll. I mean, since 6 months later we were talking about going to LA, we did, and then we turned right back around and just came back to Atlanta, and he got a fantastic job, and
Oh, wow.
I got a fantastic job, and we got a fantastic place to live. And even though we were in hotels for a short amount of time, again, it didn't matter because life was just getting better.
So do you think maybe the doll didn't want, like, maybe the doll felt like the energy that you had, the love that you had for it, was more in tune with like Mother Earth, the nature energy. So it was like it was giving you the gifts of of helping in that way,
maybe
versus the guy who was just maybe like cussing it out or
maybe
wanting to make profit off of it, and like the things that are basically against what I would assume Mother Nature would be against. The capitalism and those those things that don't really nurture the earth or things like that. So maybe it was like she was against his constitution versus yours.
Capitalism is a vampire.
Wait, say
again? Excuse me. So I write music all the time, and I have a song that I wrote about that's just basically about how capitalism is a vampire.
Oh, okay.
It's like one of my sayings that like I feel very passionate about that actually.
Wow.
And I know that sounds maybe a little bit not cool, but at the same time, like if you understand how much capitalism has basically it's basically trying to end, the democracy at this point. I mean, have you guys seen the papers? I'm not trying to get like too political, but have you guys seen your local news on the papers and what's happening here in Georgia? 19 people are going to prison. 19 people are going to prison because of politics here. And shady politics as well. Within regards to the last election. And I just, and I hope it shows the whole country how kangaroo court the places where I really live. And how kangaroo the South really can be. I mean, Richmond and that area was very different after the Civil War. I mean, they were very much for helping, Abraham Lincoln and the whole emancipation of et cetera, et cetera. But I'm getting into this because, once again, think about the doll. She must have been stolen or she must have gone through something, and he was desperately trying to get her because he thought he could get a lot of money for her. And then when he cut her head off, that's obviously started the bad stuff for him. But I've not experienced that. I just haven't ever experienced that. My sister was like, she said the silliest thing once to me. She goes, "Have you ever thought that maybe mom died or, mom got cancer because of the doll?" Like, that's so ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Like, just get out of your head for a minute, Aquarius.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is not, because she tried to talk me into like getting rid of it because she thought maybe some of the problems we had here at the haunted house was the doll's fault, but it's not. I mean, I nothing but life just got better when I got that doll. My dad did have a few dreams about her. Like he said, he had a couple dreams about her where she stood up and walked around.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And if she stood up and walked around, she'd be about 30 feet tall.
30 feet.
And probably weigh like 300 pounds.
Well, I mean, like, what is the dimensions of the real doll, like the physical doll?
She's about 7 feet tall.
That's big.
Yeah, she's
a big giant doll. Yeah, that's like a human size.
Yeah, she's a big girl.
And it's there in your house?
Yep.
I don't want to see it, but
well, you just saw it you saw it on the live in the picture.
Yeah, I know. But I want to erase that from my brain. Well, like, okay, so where do you put this like 7-foot doll?
I put it right next to my human dog bed so she can watch me sleep.
Oh my gosh, things that Scorpios say. For sure.
And I keep her eye on the front door to protect us.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that sounds
good. I mean, I do have an alarm system and a Fleetwood of arsenal.
Oh.
But
so I guess it's more like you have a positive relationship with the doll.
Okay, this is so crazy. Look, we thought the battery died, but look, it just came back on. Beep beep.
Well.
So yeah, I do have this connection with this doll though, and I feel it's very strong. And I told everybody, like, if something happens to me, guys, make sure the doll goes to the Smithsonian where she'll be safe and protected, and they can do experiments on her to figure out where she's really from, and maybe she can get back home or be where she belongs. And if if you guys can't get into the Smithsonian, please drop it off at Third Man Records. They'll take care of it for me. They'll make sure it gets to the Smithsonian.
There we go. Oh Lord, that's real love right there.
I love that doll. But there are some tribes out there that they're natural born killers, and they want to protect the land and they want to protect their people, and they have every right to, because they've been here for billions and billions of years. And I feel like when I look at the way she looks, there's some characteristics about her that I won't talk about that really identify and look like one of the most dangerous tribes over in the South Pacific. And they're not friendly. So how he got a portrayal of them like this doesn't feel right, doesn't seem right. But I was a kid, so I somehow was able to talk him into giving her to me. And hopefully, she's had a good life. I hope she feels that way, at least.
I wonder if, because these tribes, like, they don't, okay, so, like, if they're going to produce something, right, maybe they actually try to encompass the reality, the 360 personality of what Mother Nature could be like. So maybe it could be like the positives, but also the negative qualities. So maybe in a way it's used to protect, but maybe they invoke something inside of it that sort of mimics the real nature of Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Which is the good and the bad. So I guess like that.
I don't know. But yeah. I find it interesting that when I first got her, I didn't realize that her face changed. And it wasn't until my friend Danny from Detroit had come to help us move into the house in Atlanta. And he brought his whole band Moonwater to help. And Joe, the guitar player, was like, "Hey, Chloe, there's not something right about your doll." I'm like, "What do you mean?" His face is changing. I'm like, "Oh yeah, are you just on some hallucinogenics?" He's like, no, I haven't even smoked pot yet today or had a beer.
Yeah, exactly. It's like...
And then the next thing I know, like, everybody started seeing it from that moment. And I realized, how have I had this doll in my house for a year now? And I'm just starting to see this. And this doll's been in my presence for more than 2 years.
Well, like, how did the face change?
You'll say something, and it's as if the spirit in the woods shifts before your eyes. It's as if somebody comes into the room with a demeanor that moves her to shift, she'll change her face from serious to a smile. It's really weird, but yet her face never changes. That's the whole thing. It's so weird.
There is some paintings that actually do that. Some artists like created some kind of like, I guess, like technique in how and like I guess like positional art or something. I don't know if they do it on purpose or it's just something that people sort of see different angles and they can view things at a different way. So for me, the scientific approach would be like, is it because you're standing at specific angles that it sort of looks like that?
Yeah, maybe. But I quite literally have, when you're watching the face change, quite literally, you're not moving at all. There's nothing moving.
Oh.
And you'll stand there and watch it with another person in the same room who would have never realized it until you pointed it out, or they realize it before you even tell them.
Interesting.
Yeah. Her face is a portal to hell. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh gosh. And see, now, like, I've made that joke and her face kind of just squinched up a little bit into even more of a laugh, or like a gesture of a grin. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, I wish I could show this to you. I have had her in the background during lives, but it's been a long time. I haven't had her on a live since like last October, I think.
I wonder if you can do like a scream of just like the stream of the face, and then just like leave it and see what happens if it changes or anything like that.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Maybe one day we'll do that.
But I'm too scared to watch that one. Not gonna lie, I like it though.
Well, I'll tell you, like, maybe one of the women, maybe who would be from that tribe I was telling you about, that's like one of the most dangerous tribes in the world, in the far East Pacific, over there by Papua New Guinea and New Zealand and Indonesia and Bali and all those places over there. Australia.
Do you feel like she's happy in your home?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And I knew that she was happy in my home, and my dad had the dream about her walking around and acting like a normal family member.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. He said it was a little bit scary, but he said at the same time she was nice. So maybe in their tribe or something, in her tribe or the people that made her. Sorry, the computer just froze up, but maybe in her tribe or something, maybe the dad or the chief or whatever, the tribe had a connection with the doll, and maybe she wanted to make a connection with him or something and be like, hey, I'm not so bad after all. Look at me stand up.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I think also because like maybe because you are in the in the spiritual path, and maybe she also finds more connection with that type of people.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe whoever made her also like they have that like high potency of spirituality or connection to things. So it's just to her it feels more family, like more kin to what she knows. I wish I had some McDonald's breakfast sandwich.
Oh my God, me too. I wish I had a hash brown.
Right? Yes, the hash browns and iced tea.
So I guess Molly had some power dream. Oh God, she's had a nightmare that he's blocked her. That's not good. Hope she'll fight that Freddy Krueger off. Well, look, anyways, guys, we've had fun talking on the live tonight. I hope everyone enjoys this live who might watch it back. Please like the live if you can when you see it, and leave your comments below and ask questions about the spirit box that maybe we'll ask tomorrow, the next day, or the next day. Kalanita, arrivederci. Ciao.